Hello, and I just wanted to bring you a little information about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. That's the technical term for these drugs, but they include things like Advil, Aleve, aspirin actually falls into that category as well, ibuprofen. These are all non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Now, there was a research study published in the New England Journal of Medicine a few years ago which indicated that there are 16,500 deaths annually directly attributed or directly related to the use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. The interesting thing about that study was that they only included prescription non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that were used for either rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis. Now, as you know, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are prescribed for many other conditions and disorders besides rheumatoid and osteoarthritis. They also did not incorporate over-the-counter non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which are really the same as the prescription ones except for the dose or strength. The dose or strength of prescription non-steroidal anti-inflammatories is much higher, so they didn't incorporate those. But statistically, if they were to incorporate those, that would add another 20,000 deaths per year directly attributable to the consumption and use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, in this case over the counter. So that brings our total up to 36,500. So we really need to recognize that the cause of the conditions that the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories are utilized for is inflammation. What I've given you in previous videos is information about how to reduce the inflammatory load in your body. You need to start incorporating that information on a daily basis so that you can reduce your inflammatory load in your body and therefore reduce the likelihood that you will require these drugs on a routine basis, and thereby decreasing this 36,500 deaths per year statistic, which is preventable. So apply that idea this week. Try to get away from those NSAIDs, which people take like candy today, unfortunately not realizing that it causes gastric bleeding, which is probably the #1 cause of the deaths that I just outlined, along with renal failure, because your kidneys are trying real hard to clean this stuff out of the body and are taxed and worked overtime. So incorporate that one, try to get away from these drugs, and I will talk to you soon.